We are one win away from the state volleyball tournament for Champlin Park and Wayzata. The winner today moves to St. Paul next week. Hello and welcome to Anoka High School. John Jacobson and Andy Guggesberg as Champlin Park and Wayzata for the Section 5 3A Championship. Andy, the third meeting this season between Wayzata and Champlin Park. First two have come in tournaments. Wayzata winning each time.
Yeah, if you would have asked me at the beginning of the year who'd be the one seed out of this section, it would have been Champlin without really much need for discussion. Wayzata, having a little tough start to their season, came on strong at all the right times, ran into Champlin twice in tournament play and beat them both times. Good coaching on both sides of the net, great athletes on both sides of the net. We're in for a good one today.
This team's last played 4 weeks ago, so what, if anything, do we take away from the two matches between these two teams?
Well, if memory serves, neither one of them was for a championship. I know none of them had a state tournament bid on the line, so there's a little bit of that. There's an old coaching adage, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times, and I'm sure that is exactly what Scott Jackson is preaching to his players this week. 4 weeks ago was a long time. Kids have had a chance to make some changes. If we see the type of volleyball we saw on Wednesday, we're in for a great match. I don't want to pick a winner. You don't make me pick a winner. Let's see how it falls out on the court here.
I won't make you pick a winner, but tell me one thing that Champlin Park's going to need to do well, and then one thing Wayzata's going to need to do well to emerge as section champions today.
Champlin Park is going to, and we talked about it Wednesday, Champlin Park's going to need their role players to do their job. Hilly's going to get hers and get a lot of them. Janae's going to get hers and get a lot of them. It's what does Vatndal Vidal do? What does Miller do? What do the rest of those role players do in order to get to excel? And for Wayzata, it's how great can first contact be in order to take some pressure off Kate Berg and get Ballfield the ball a little bit more often. Ballfield was a huge piece in their win over Osseo and Tina Bow on Wednesday. If they can get her involved early, it could be Wayzata's match again.
Wayzata did get off to a slow start against Osseo, lost that first set to the Orioles, came back and won the last 3. Scott Jackson didn't feel his team played particularly well that night, and he said, we'll need a better effort today.
Yeah, I've seen Scott's teams play a variety of ways, but it's amazing. I don't know how many times I've done a Wayzata section final. They seem to be in this match no matter what section they're in every year because Scott gets his players to peak at exactly the right time.
Champlin Park looking for their second straight section championship. Wayzata trying to get to state for the first time since 2010. It's the Section 5 3A Championship, Champlin Park and Wayzata, and it comes your way next on 12 Sports.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
We're back at Anoka High School, ready for the Section 5 3A volleyball final for 2015. 26-4, Champlin Park against 23-7, Wayzata. 2 of those 4 losses for Champlin Park coming against this Wayzata team, which earned the #1 seed in Section 5. First year for Wayzata in this section. They had been in Section 6 for years and had some good Eden Prairie teams to go against for many seasons and unable to get to state. They were in state most recently, as I mentioned, in 2010. And really a terrific program overall through the years for Scott Jackson. We'll talk about that more in a moment as you look at Wayzata's starters for today. Lauren Jagerson, Kate Berg, Gabby Kinney, Morgan Baufield, Mackenzie Gresham, Liz Benson, and Reagan Kalish. And for Champlin Park, Sydney Hilly, Allie Miller, Marissa Vatndal Vidal, Janae Alderson, Hannah Krimble, Izzy Ashburn, and Caitlin Weimer-Skirch.
Lots of talent on both sides of the roster. You look at the upperclassmen. Champlin Park only having 2 seniors. Wayzata with 10. But to me, looking at these rosters, both teams are going to be back with a lot of power again next year. You mentioned the Wayzata team and the history that is Wayzata. They're one of those programs that doesn't rebuild, they simply reload. Their JV teams, B squad freshman teams, the feeder programs that lead into them. There's a volleyball community there that knows what winning's about, and they don't settle for second. Champlin Park, been up and down, in a great spot right now over the last few years. Definitely putting themselves on the map in the Class 3A world. Definitely led by Hilly and Alderson and the rest of these big swingers. Wayzata knows how to neutralize one kid at a time, which is why they're going to do what they can to neutralize Hilly. The question is, can those other players come through and make big plays, draw a block here and there to give Hilly her one-on-one opportunities?
Wayzata will serve to begin today's match, and we are about underway this is one of several sections going on in 3A, the finals to determine the field of 8 next Thursday in St. Paul. Hilly to the middle, Janae Alderson. Wayzata on the receive, and it's hit from the left side, and the first point goes to Wayzata, the kill from Lauren Jagerson.
Jagerson with a little touch shot there, not as hard as she can unload on a ball. We saw her really get on a couple balls on Wednesday. Does a really good job placing that ball, catching Hilly out of rhythm, and Alderson can't run it down.
Jagerson serving, back row handled by Weimer Skirch. Here's Hilly, tops it over. Back set. And ball hit across and a kill for Baumfield. And Wayzata gets the first 2 points. Greshel the set. Baumfield the kill, and Wayzata up quickly 2-0.
Vandal Vidal nowhere to be seen. Miller nowhere to be seen. One-on-one, Baumfield's going to make that kill every time.
Vandal Vidal dug up back row by Benson to the front. And this will go to the floor. And quick 3-0 start for Wayzata here in set 1.
Little tip shot there, tips it over the block. Little trouble there for Krimble as she's not able to handle it cleanly.
Hilly hopping it over, dug up Brainley. And Wayzata keeping that ball alive. Now Hilly with another swing, another good dig by Kate Bird. Now they'll try again. This one still alive. And Wayzata somehow keeps this one alive. Vandal Vidal finally will get the point. Boy, a couple of really strong defensive efforts by Wayzata to keep that rally alive. Finally, they do. Champlin Park does get the kill on the right side.
There's the role player, Vandal Vidal, coming in. She gets one set in the last 4 points and finds a kill with it. Great job by her, going off the block there of Jagerson.
Gets the Rebels their first point of the match, and she serves now. Berg on the pass receive is Baumfield. Ball hit it back across, and it'll go as a point for Wayzata, and they go up 4-1.
It's really interesting to watch Greshel and Hilly, both elite setters nationally during the club season, getting the opportunity to take some swings for their high school teams and doing a really good job with it.
Alderson spins it over. Berg able to dig that one up. Hit by Baumfield. That was handled by Weimerskirch. Alderson with the attack. Back across and over. Hilly got a hand on it, but couldn't put it in play. Strong start for the Trojans. They're up now 5-1 as Greshel will go back to serve.
Hilly mishandling 2 balls that she normally just butters.
Alderson front row. There's up to Hilly. Too much on that one. Let's get a tip. Yes, we did. Off Wayzata. And it's a point for Champlin Park. Scott Jackson, I don't think Mike that Golly thing. That's all right. There's more points out there.
You know, I've been watching Scott coach for about a decade, and there's not a lot that gets him overly excited, right. You know? He loves watching his teams be successful, but refs missing a call or not missing a call, it is what it is. Those things all have a tendency to balance out at the end.
A serve by Brianna Gore.
little communication error between Jagerson and Berg, and they have a little talk afterwards. I think that's Berg's ball. She's got to let Jagerson go be an attacker.
Front row, hit across by Hilly, dug up by Berg. Back row Alderson. Hilly will tip it over the blockers. Greshel to Palish, over at the net, tipped back by Miller of Champlin Park. Berg will push it over for Wayzata. Ashburn back, and knocked over, and a good run to the ball by Miller. Alderson digging up the attack from Gross, and then Hilly with the kill.
Hilly with the ender there, but there was a couple plays in there where she kind of got lost as to what was happening. Really does a good job getting in transition, finds the seam in the block. Good cross-court kill for the winner there.
5-4 score. Gore serving. Wayzata scrambling on this one, and it's out of play. Officially a go as an ace, and it's 5-5.
Gore with a nice serving run here. The sophomore defensive specialist. Smooth server, puts a lot of pressure on her opponents with that first contact.
Back set, Greshel to Baufield. Alderson able to dig that up at the net. And it's Hilly getting over and down the line for a point. And the last 5 in a row here for Champlin Park, and they go up 6-5. Gore continuing to serve out of this rotation as Champlin Park has taken its first lead. Now we're tied up again at 6 on the service there. Easy play for Berg in the front row on the overpass, and the kill for Wayzata.
Great pass here. Oh, sorry about that. Blanked it on a different play. The overpass there, Berg locked in, knows exactly what she wants to do with that ball. Platform work was good there. Another good pass.
Hilly blocked in the front row. We'll go back to Hilly again. Spins it over, dug up by Berg. Front row, Baufield the attack. It's another try. Hilly with a great dig at the net. She'll get it back from Ashburn and put it away.
Great outside set here. She goes seam of the block again and gets another kill. Took a little while to get going, but we're seeing the Hilly we all know is Metro Player of the Year. It's amazing to me it's 7-7, and this is the third rotation. Typically, we're about once around the court by now.
Back row, it'll drop in for a Wayzata point. Trojans back in front. Baufield the serve. 5'11" junior puts it in play. Hilly setting it across. Alderson with a swing, and she gets her first kill of the match.
Great outside set. She goes over the top of the right side block. Great spot.
Weimer skirts to serve. The Berga to dig up right at the net. Vidal finds the spot in the defense and drops it in. Rebels in front, 9-8.
You'll notice here, Vidal, who hasn't hit left all season, on the left right now. They've moved Alderson to the right so she can get in front of Kate Berg. John doing a great job getting his matchups the way he wants right now.
Greshel back, swing at the net. Rebels handle that. Hilly will push it over. Oh, a great set and the kill from Berg. Kate Berg, second team All-Metro player. Great swing on that ball.
Alderson knows it's going out there, can't get out to the line in time, and that's way too much space for Kate Berg to operate. She does a great job down the line.
Ball to Alderson in the middle, off the tape and handled by Greshel. Back to Berg again, over the blockers, but Hilly there to dig it up. Vidal, instead of scrambling, and they make the play, and it'll go back The Claflin at the net. And back over by Wayzata. Hilly to Alderson, over the block, and this time the Trojans can't recover. Point Champlin Park.
Kids working hard in transition is one of my favorite things to watch as a coach, and you see it on both sides of the net during this rally. Hard-working kids playing good volleyball right now.
Ashburn back in along with Krimble. Ashburn serving. Berg over the blockers. Ashburn to Hilly, pushes it over and gets the point. Was almost right on top of Vattendahl, the Dahl from behind, and Sidney able to get the ball up over and over the net for a point. Ashburn, good serve. Outside it goes. Greshel gets the kill.
Great location there from Benson, and Greshel with a big swing to finish that point.
Trojans trailing by 1 here as Berg serves. Back set goes to Alderson. At the net, over by Jagerson to tie it back up. Tied at 11 in the first set. Best of 5 to go to state. Trimble with a whistle.
A little ticky-tacky call, but I think if Dan Wagner sets his bar there and keeps it there the whole match, neither coach is going to have much to complain about.
Double contact giving Wayzata the lead again. 3 in a row for the Trojans. Outside to Vattendahl Vidal. Berg up to the front row and hit over by Jagerson. That ball wide. It's a point for Champlin Park.
Ball dug over. That's a great look at where she wanted to go with that ball, but Kinney just missing.
Quick set in the middle. Kinney got it over. Rebels return it. And this one looking to jump it over on that ball at the net. Benson hitting it into the net and putting Champlin Park back in front.
There's no way anybody from Champlin was going to touch that ball if it came over.
Line drive serve too strong by Alderson. Service error, and we're tied at 13. Palish back in, and she'll serve as she did to begin this match, this set I should say, and 13 all. We expected a great one. I think we're going to get it here today. Hilly off the tape, but didn't get it all the way over.
Set's a little low. Hilly touching about 10 feet. You're going to want to give her a higher ball there.
Hilly from Ashburn, back row. Berg able to handle that in the middle. Double contact on Wayzata this time, and it's tied at 14.
The same call on both sides, so we know Wagner's going to be set where he's set. Ooh, uncharacteristic there.
Vattendahl Vidal with a service error, and Wayzata back in front. Greshel serving and serves it long. So the teams exchange errors at the service line. We're tied at 15. Gore back in. She had a good run first time through serving and bringing Champlin Park from down early to into the lead. Now it's been back and forth since. The block at the net. Point Champlin Park.
Great footwork and great close here. Watch this press. They both get up and over. Press back to the 6. That's a beautiful textbook block right there.
Allie Miller with the block. Rebels back in front by 1. Greshel to Jagerson down for the point.
They get that ball out to the pin. Jagerson's going to go over the setter every time. You know, Ashburn does a nice job setting. She's a little undersized as a right side blocker, though.
Hilly outside, blocked. Great play by Baufield to get up and block that ball.
Quick close, it's a commit block. Baufield's there, presses it straight down, and before emotions can even enter Champlin Park's mind, Hilly looks at her teammate and says, hey, I got that ball.
That one drops in just inside the back line, but it is a point definitely for Wayzata right in front of where we are, and it's an ace. And the Trojans with a 2-point lead. Jagerson serving. Hilly got to that ball, just got it over. Greshel in the middle. Bauffield had to reach for that one to get it over. Left side, Hilly will push it across. Palish back outside further than she wanted to go to Berg, and that one's returned outside the antenna, and a point for Champlin Park.
I thought John should have called a timeout there after that service ace dropped in the middle, proving once again he knows way more about his team than I do. Side out here, Hilly back to serve.
Looking to get it tied up again. Ball in the middle, Bauffield gets the point. Another kill for the junior Morgan Bauffield.
Bauffield
Alderson.
Way high right there. That's a play that Libero's going to want to make with her left hand. She makes it with her right hand. The only place she can dig that is into down ref Candy Colbo.
Hilly to the front. Comes back to Hilly. Over to Alderson. Blocked. Point Wayzata. 20-17. And a timeout for Champlin Park. Trojans their biggest lead since it was 5-2. And they're back up by 3 late in this first set.
Good volleyball. The role players for Champlin are doing a great job. Let's watch this whole last point here. Gord passes the ball. It's off the net. Hilly, little push over. Great presence at the net by Kinney. Hilly outside again. That ball's tight and a bump set. Alderson's got to try and tool the block there instead of trying to get that ball through the block. She's a senior outside hitter, has to know what to do with that ball. John Yunker right now talking to his kids, giving them the old, hey, we know how this is supposed to go. They're a great team. We know it. They know it. Let's go out and play Champlin Park Rebel volleyball. Scott Jackson, we see him. We see Kate Berg and the rest of her team all smiles right now coming out of this timeout. Everybody pretty excited about the 3-point lead they have in set 1. It's not a best-of-1 match, but taking set 1 definitely puts you in a pretty big driver's seat in a section final.
Bauffield serving here, their team leading by 3. Hilly to Alderson, dug up by Berg, scramble with the ball, and no one else could come and get to it. And it's a point for Champlin Park, and a big one for the Rebels to get them back to within 2. The effort by Myers dove to the floor to try to get that ball up, but couldn't. Floated back over on the serve. It's Berg, across Hilly, getting it in the middle. Weimer skirch. Hilly hits it back. Myers up in the air for Berg. And a kill for Berg, and they're back in front by 3.
Good bump set there. Berg goes in the seam of the block. Weimer skirch not there. A lot of open court to try and cover. 2-ball in the middle.
Hilly to Alderson. Point Champlin Park.
Alderson passes from the 6 there. There's no place they're going to go but other than back to her. Wayzata knew it, had 6 hands there, but they weren't closed. Goes off the block and out of bounds.
Ashburn serves. Handled by Berg. Front row, and Berg's going to tap it over. Back it goes Alderson. Off the block and down. Off the hand of Kate Berg, and it's 21-20.
The seesaw match continues.
Ashburn with a long serve and a big point for Wayzata. And they're within 3 of winning the first set.
See how the freshman handles the error. She's able to reset her body and deliver a good ball here, and we're all clean at 22-21. We're going to be just fine.
Ashburn back for Alderson, pushing it deep and off the Trojans player and out. And this hit on the receive there. Now it is 22-21.
Bauffield Berg played together for a long time, year-round. That's a communication error that shouldn't happen.
Back set, hit across. Dug up by Ashburn. Here's Hilly. Back to the front row. Over and down for a big point. 23-21. Greshel with the kill.
Here's a back set. Hilly gonna go one-on-one. Alderson's gotta see that it's one-on-one and get inside and up into the hole a little bit better there. That's a play that the senior outside hitter's gotta step in and dig, especially if they're gonna come back and win this set. 23-21, down by 2. Junker's gonna be talking about how do we get Hilly the ball out of this timeout. Wayzata's gonna be talking about, listen, Hilly's getting the ball out of this timeout. Let's get 6 hands in front of it. Let's play defense accordingly. I'm looking for her to tip this ball deep to zone 1. And if Wayzata is able to run this ball down, we're going to see a big swing on the outside, because when Hilly's in the front row, you can't tip, roll, free ball and hope that she's eventually going to beat you, because she will. She's done it for the last 2 years, and she'll do it for the next 2 as well.
Kalish serving. 23-21 Wayzata. Alderson to Hilly. She'll push it across to the middle, but they didn't really get it set very well to Baufield. A mistake on the Trojan side. It's 23-22.
Baufield goes to run a 31, and the set just doesn't get out of Benson's hands fast enough. It dies short.
That Nobledal serving. Front row. And they get the ball dug up off the hit from Baufield. Hilly missed on the hit. Trying to go down the line, and it's set point, 24-22.
That time Alderson again saw the one-on-one, cuts in front, makes a good dig, and Hilly with an uncharacteristic error late.
Hilly across. In the middle, Baufield trying to end it here with Champlin Park ready for the ball. Weimer skirts back to Alderson's got to run up to it. Too strong, and Wayzata wins the first set, 25-22. And the number 1 seed goes up on the number 2 seed, 1-0.
Hey, good volleyball to start here. That's a little more error on the Rebel side than I was expecting in a section final. Very clean volleyball from Wayzata, business-like approach like we saw in their semifinal in 2, 3, and 4. The big players got to do a better job. If your big kids don't show up, you're not going to state. Alderson and Hilly playing good, playing fine, but not nearly good enough to get to state in set 1. Those 2 are going to have a little gut check here between 1 and 2. We'll see what we get from the bigs coming out of the end of set 1.
We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. More Section 5 3A volleyball from Anoka High School after this timeout.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
It's so shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Wayzata looking for their 3rd win this season against Champlin Park, and this one would put them in the state tournament. Get ready for set 2 today at Anoka. coaches of the 8 state tournament teams in all 3 classes will meet via conference call in each of their respective classes tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, to seed for the state tournament. Seed 1 through 5. The other teams are randomly placed against the 1, 2, and 3 seeds for the state tournament. 4 and 5 matched up against each other.
Yeah, we see there's a Roseville contingent here. Roseville won their section Thursday night. I don't see head coach Greg Hewlin here. I'm sure he's down in St. Louis Park watching Hopkins and Washburn. Hopkins up 2-1 and up in the 4th from a text message thread I am involved in right now. My phone's been blowing up quite regularly.
First point of set 2 goes to Champlin Park, and then the Rebels give it back on a service error by Alderson, and so we're tied at 1. Anna Kate Gross, senior right side hitter, number 17, in for Wayzata. Greshel gives that point back. At the net, Hilly able to get to that ball and put it away. Rebels out to a 3-1 start.
Still haven't seen a crisp, clean play this set. That overpass, not the ball they're looking for from Wayzata.
Greshel's got a scramble to this one and tapped over by Berg. In the middle to Krimble, drops it over. A side blocked by Champlin Park as Krimble getting up on the attack by Jagerson. Hilly from Alderson, dug up by Greshel. Cross it goes. Alderson with the dig on the hit from Jagerson again. Here's Hilly. Wide on the hit and the point to Wayzata.
On a system ball, Hilly missing. She's not elevating the way we saw her do earlier in the year. I don't know if it's just this point in the season, everybody's a little tired or what it is. Well, maybe not everybody. Holy swinging.
Kate Berg getting up for that one. We're tied up at 3. Jagerson serving. Ball at the net, tipped over by Miller. Cross, Hilly able to handle that. Now gets it back and finds a spot. Tied at 4.
Great cut shot here. She set outside the antenna, only has zone 4 to go, and drops a thumb and puts it in front of Berg.
Excuse me, Rebels up 4-3 here with Gore serving. Greshel across for Berg, tapping it over. In the middle, Miller. Greshel back, Palish, now Berg will push it across the net. Hilly to Ashburn, back to Hilly. Palish across, over by Gross. Hilly again with the swing, Greshel back, Weimer Skirch handled that. Here's Hilly one more time, dug up by Berg. Now Champlin Park scrambling, Alderson got it across. Palish for Berg. Great rally here. Hilly, handled by Palish to get a player in the net for Wayzata, and a point for Champlin Park. That was a good rally.
That was a great rally. I didn't see a violation. We're a ways away from it. I trust Candy to make that call. I don't think Baufield thought she was in the net either. Had a little discussion with Scott after the point.
Tipped by Baufield at the net and gets that point back for Wayzata. That's 5-4.
Baufield, one of those kids that after an error wants the opportunity to make it up to her team and does just that.
Ball to the middle to Hilly.
That's a big swing. You can't lose Hilly if you're Gross right there. Gross coming in, standing on the outside there. There's no hitter out there. She's got to come in and help block that ball.
Here's Berg across, dug up by Gore. Alderson across, nice dig by Myers. Alderson got it blocked at the net. Tap at the net by Claflin for the point.
Great point here. Lots of chaos at the net. Claflin with the wherewithal to stay in front of her hitter and slap that ball back on the tip over.
Maria Claflin making it 7-4 Rebels. At the net, Berg attacking with ferocity there. Back to the middle of the court. Healy will bump it over. Greshel across for Berg. Gets it over the blockers. Healy goes to the floor to dig that ball up. Over by Alderson. Greshel back outside to Berg. Blocked by Miller. Over by Claflin. And we're still alive. Healy back set to Miller. Dug up by Greshel outside and they're hit. And Champlin Park for the first time today has a 4-point lead. It's 8-4 Rebels in set 2.
Good rally, good intensity. The play of the rally has to be Healy laying out and picking up that dig.
Gives it back on that serve. Liz Benson back in for Wayzata, and she'll serve here. Off of Weimer's skirt. It's an ace for Benson.
Benson doing a nice job serving here. Here we see this ball with what we call a double move. It breaks down and then breaks to the right at the last minute, and Weimer skirts left high and dry there.
Alderson. The swing. Here's the attack and the kill from Kinney, the senior middle. Wayzata with 3 in a row. They're back to within 1.
When Benson's running the ball, the offense the way she is right now, you can't wait and watch. You've got to pick a hitter, and right now it's giving Benson the opportunity to go one-on-one with all of her hitters. She's doing a great job running her offense. You see the missed serve there, but she puts a little run together to get her team back within 1. Now they're down 2-9-7, Champlin.
Back set, Berg. Didn't get to that ball like she wanted to on the swing, and the set from Benson. And it's 10-7. Weimer Skirch serving again. Berg getting late to the floor to get to that ball. And that point will go to Wayzata. Greshel with the kill.
Greshel doing a great job there, seeing the big block from Alderson. It's rare you say this, but she's too high. Her hands aren't anywhere near the ball. Goes off her elbow and out of bounds.
Here's Berg serving. Oh, miscommunication there on Champlin Park's side of the net. Is an ace and a point to Berg and the Trojans. Scott Jackson, 17 years now at Wayzata High School, and it's ace serve for Berg.
Berg back in it. Gets her team to tie this one back up at 10. News from St. Louis Park. Hopkins will also be at the Excel. They just beat Washburn in 4.
Alderson puts it across. And into the net, Berg. Gives Champlin Park an 11-10 lead. So Hopkins, in a year where they're probably not quite as good as they have been when they had Samantha Seliger-Swenson for 6 years. A little bit easier section, to say the least, this year, and then congratulations to them. Came on strong, though, near the end of the season and able to get that win over an undefeated Washburn team in that Section 6 final. Alderson with the attack. Berg digging the ball up. Greshel right into the net.
At this point in the year, the max effort on the jump from both setter hitters right now, not what I'm expecting to see. Greshel doesn't do the work there, gets about 8 to 10 inches off the ground. This time she gets a little better. She's one-on-one. She does a nicer job with the ball.
Battendal Vidal down the line with the kill. 3 in a row for the Rebels. Back in front, 13-10 here.
Junior outside hitter there has a whole lot of space. She goes over the block, and Berg is standing in the 6, not helping her team there. She was stuck behind the middle block. Middle back defenders for both of these teams, the way they run their system, you read and go sit in a seam, and most of the balls that are falling on the back court are because the middle back isn't making a move.
Back to Alderson off of Berg. Over by Greshel. Too strong, point Champlin Park. That's at the far end of the court where Andy and I can't really see, so we're counting on looking at the officials.
I think it was good on the sideline, but deep on the end line, the official farthest away from us had his flag up, making that call.
Back it goes to Greshel, gets the kill here. 14-12.
Nice swing from Greshel there. When she works hard and gets to about 12, 15 feet and accelerates into this ball, she's doing a really nice job.
Greshel serving. Alderson dug that one up, but Hilly late to the ball, and it's 14-13. Trojans back to within one. They've trailed most of this set after winning the first set 25-22. Greshel too strong, gives it back.
A lot of errors here in set two. I think we're at 10-12 errors and 28 points. That's not section final volleyball.
Vandal, but just got it over the net and gets an ace serve. 16-13.
That's one of those balls that you just, good serve. I don't know if it's intentional, doesn't matter. It's hard to pass that ball. You don't worry about getting aced on those serves.
Blocked at the net by the Rebels. Tapped over by Gross. Alderson. Hilly will push it over the blockers. Baelish across for Gross, who gets the kill. Big point for Wayzata, 16-14.
Gross, a really comfortable outlet for the Trojans. When they're in trouble and Baelish has to take that second ball, she goes there with consistency, and we haven't seen errors in the last two matches from her in that position.
Quick in the middle, Baumfield with the kill.
That's pretty. I love watching the setter. We'll see it here. She goes off 1 foot in front. Slide footwork, which is typically reserved for behind the setter. Comes in, runs what we call a shake. That's a beautiful ball and tough to block.
Hilly trying to get that point back on the attack. Wayzata ready for it. Well, tipped by Berg, blocked by Krimble. Baumfield blocked. Got off at Hilly and out, and Wayzata has come back to tie it at 16.
Hilly sees that ball's coming over, but doesn't get her hands pressed over the net quite enough.
Tipped by Miller. Baelish for Greshel. The Berg, but too aggressive on the swing. Hit the tape on her side. Champlin Park will grab the lead back.
Yeah, I was able to watch the Gophers play last night. Their big outside hitter, Dolly Santana from Puerto Rico, when she exchanges her arms, her right arm gets way in front of her body. We see Berg on that ball. She hits what we call a cutaway shot, but she leaves her arm back, pushing that ball into the net.
Berg gets blocked. Baumfield too strong on that swing. 18-16 Rebels.
Baumfield in a bad spot right there, going for the tool, but the block wasn't there. That's a great idea by the junior middle blocker, just didn't end in a point.
Gore serving into the net, gives the point back. Baumfield serving again. Team trailing by 1 here in the second set. Hilly gets it over. 19-17 Rebels.
Much better vision here by the Trojans, but when Hilly gets on it, she's the best kid in the state for a reason. She goes over that block, off the top of it, and down.
Hilly will get an ace here. 20-17 and a timeout for Wayzata.
Hilly and the Rebels coming alive late in set two. They've had the lead for most of the set, but they haven't looked this good. They're looking really good right now, are the Rebels. Good serve there, a little bit of chaos. Up 1-0, down by 3 in set two. Scott Jackson and the Trojans just trying to relax, get a side out, and then figure out how to go on a run of their own. For the Champlin Park Rebels, They've got Hilly back at the service line, which means she's going to be running the offense through her hands as the setter, and Janae on the outside. They've got options that can score points and finish out this set. We'll see if Hilly comes off this timeout serving aggressively, or if she goes to just keep it in. If she goes with the latter, there's too much option, and Greschel can run too much of an offense there. I think they go after Holly Myers here in serve receive and see what happens.
Hilly serving. Berg. And a big point for Wayzata out of that timeout. The junior with an important kill for her team. It's 20-18.
Berg jumping higher and higher as the match goes on. Goes tooling off the block there. The right side block from Champlin wanted nothing to do with that ball. Neither did the serve receivers there as that serve is out of bounds.
Benson served too long, 21-18. Benson to Berg, spins it over for a point.
Second team All-Metro Berg with shots like that. We see her unload and abuse the block for her last kill. That time the set isn't there. She knows that zone 1 is where you should attack and does a great job of it.
Hilly to Alderson off of Berg, and have to scramble on this one and pushed across by Jagerson. To the middle, Alderson for the kill. (22-19).
Great swing there, good spot. Goes off 3 Wayzata players, but none of them get a good touch on it.
Ashburn serving, Baufield able to receive that, tipped over at the net. And over by Weimer-Skirch. Back to Greschel. That's a big point. Mackenzie Greschel.
I don't know if the decision is to block line and give cross, but Greschel's abused the right side of the Wayzata defense. They're going to need to make a blocking adjustment, and soon.
Hilly saving that one for Champlin Park, at least for the moment. And missed set at the net. And now it's 23-20.
That's a scary set to the outside there. Alderson almost getting trampled by Jagerson in a very tough spot.
Alderson digging that ball up. Hilly will push it across. Benson, Palish back over. Hilly gets the block on Baufield. Greschel with the hit. Back to Hilly. Point, Champlin Park, and it's 24-20.
I like at the end of that point, Palish, after she knew where the ball was going, took a look to see if she had enough room to go make a play. She ran out of real estate there, but I like the effort there and the wherewithal to look at what she's doing.
Over by Baufield. Point Wayzata. So they stay alive, 24-21.
Gonna need better right back defense from the Rebels as this match continues. That's gonna be a point of emphasis between 2 and 3 here.
Greschel's serve, handled by Alderson. Over by Baufield. Hilly digs it up, comes back to Hilly, and she puts it away. We're tied up at 1. Champlin Park wins set 2, 25-21.
Watch this serve here. We're gonna watch this whole point. Alderson, great serve. This is a great choice to go to Krimble here, but Krimble not ready to make the play. A little bit of chaos by Wayzata. They're gonna get an opportunity back. And now we see Hilly putting in the work without the ball to transition, and she gets rewarded with the cross-court finish. 25-21, Champlin takes set 2, and we're tied at a set apiece.
We'll take a break. We're coming back. More Section 5 3A volleyball at Anoka High School in just a moment.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. All day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
It's so shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why?
Wayzata fans on the far side of the bleachers here, but Champlin Park has really brought it with their student section again today. And they are happy with the outcome of that second set. Now tied up at 1 as we head to set 3. You know, there's always, we talked about this the other night, there's always a theme for the Champlin Park students. Today apparently was dress up day. They outdressed us today, Andy. I mean, dress up is subject to interpretation, as you can tell, but for the most part, some sharp-dressed young students there.
Yeah, you know, the Champlin student section is always a point of contention. When you talk to coaches in this section, they're loud, they're proud, they're definitely worth 2 points a set. Sometimes the stuff they cheer about is a little sketchy, but they've been pretty classy today. I'm pretty impressed.
Hilly getting a kill to start set 3 to make it 1-0. Marissa Vatndal-Vidal serving. Greshel gets the kill, and we're tied up at 1. Now Rod with the set and the kill. And now Greshel will go back to serve. Here's Hilly. A lot of power on that.
The exchange I was talking about earlier that we didn't get from Berg. You watch her shoulders here as she throws her right shoulder around the ball, putting an extra about probably 5 to 10 miles an hour on the swing. Really unloads on that ball. And here comes Dan Wagner getting involved in the match. Going to talk to the captains about something. We'll see what's happening here.
I don't see this very often, so what would it be? What would your guess be? And
could be a few things. Could be the bench protocol sometimes gets talked about here, whether it's what did we have? I think he's going to say the libero might not have been on the court on time, or somebody was out of rotation with the serve. I'm not quite sure what the call was there, but Dan Wagner is going to go ahead and he's one of those officials. He's like a Jeff Krause and a Tim Harlow. He knows the whole rule book inside and out. He's going to be aware of the little tweaky things that a lot of people aren't going to pay much attention to because they don't really care. But Dan's all about making sure, letter of the law, we got it right. And now here's Scott Jackson making sure we have the server right because there's chaos going on both sides of the net.
Are they gonna something? Are they awarding a point, that last point, to Champlin Park, or to Wayzata rather, instead?
Yes, because they called Champlin out of rotation on the serve. So when Champlin served, the point never happened. The point should have gone to Wayzata out of the shoot. Regardless, we're back to 2-2
right now. We're back at 2-2. Gorzik in. She will serve for the first time here in this set. Here's Berg. A couple of missed hits here the last part of last set, and here early in set 3, Champlin Park up in front, 3-2 now.
It's that one. It's that chant that gets me. The "you let the whole team down" thing doesn't need to be said. Kids feel bad enough about making a mistake. I don't think it helps the game. It certainly doesn't help your team get another point.
Miller gets the kill, and it's 4-2. Yeah, I talked to Scott Jackson about before the match today. I said, what about the Champlin Park fans? He said, we have practiced with them in practice, chanting at them when they serve and going with some of these chants, so at least it's not a surprise to the girls when it happens. Regardless if you like it or not, I guess if you know what's coming, maybe it can help a little bit. A block at the net, Champlin Park with some momentum early here in set 3, Andy. They're up 5-2.
Ballfield on the slide there. She gets in front of Greshel, which is not where she wants to be. She wants to wait behind her and then chase that ball down.
Greshel, and knocked over. A big kill there from Jagerson to get the Trojans a point. 5-3.
Good looking volleyball from the Trojans early.
Ashburn over by Hilly. Palish up in the air. Gross with the swing. Alderson dug that up. Hilly will try to push it back deep corner. Palish handling that ball. In the middle, Baufield over. Great dig by Hilly. Pushed over by Miller. Jagerson slides over to that ball. Attack and handled by Weimer. Skirts tipped over by Ashburn. Over by Berg. Ashburn to Miller for the kill.
Good long rally, great defensive effort on both sides. Wherewithal to pick up a center dump early. Great finish there as they go over the back row defender. Palish sucked up just a little bit, and great spot.
Hilly serving. Her Champlin Park Rebels team leading 6-3. Berg across and gets the point. Gore and Weimer skirts. Neither could get to that ball. Point Trojans. Baufield to serve.
Looks like the Rebels have gone to straight rotation defense there as Gore was shifting herself to the one, leaving the middle of the court wide open. Good spot there by the Trojans.
Service error gives a point to Champlin Park to get the side out. 7-4 with Weimer skirts to serve. Caitlin, just a freshman, gets to serve across here for Champlin Park. Pushed over by Battendal Vidal. Outside they go to Berg, off the block and down for a point.
Battendal Vidal does a great job of using the block here. Alderson, I don't know if she's still not used to being a pin blocker, but her arms are outside her body. She's not nearly strong enough out there to press and close.
Alderson gets the kill. She's been pretty quiet today, Andy, so far on the match.
Yeah, she's not getting the out-of-system balls that she typically does, and they're out of system a lot more often than they typically are. The serving game from Wayzata very strong there. We see her kind of getting a plus, maybe even a 2, depending on your definitions there of what each set is, and able to put that ball away.
Blocked by Krimble at the net. Trojans trying to scramble back. Alderson getting it back. Hilly, the front row, over by Battendal Vidal, off the tape and down, and a point for Wayzata.
Wayzata back within 2 here. Good little rally, a little bit of a late swing coming there.
Jagerson back in, Holly Myers out. And Wayzata unable to handle the Alderson attack. 9-6 Rebels.
Alderson taking a play from the Wayzata playbook and attacking zone 1. Defense isn't very strong there typically. You have a setter in that position more often than not. Some disagreement from the Wayzata student section on that end of the court.
Well, they ended up giving it to Wayzata. So.
Oh, Dan Wagner must have overruled the line judge.
He did.
Good.
They're going to wait and they have to change the scoreboard because they originally had ruled it an ace. So it's 9-7. That's the correct score you see at home. with Palish serving. There's Hilly. And she'll get the kill.
Brings up a good point. Can you play it off the scoreboard? According to Dan, you can there. Is that ball dug? Berg not able to get her hips around the ball, dug into the scoreboard, and good effort by the Trojans afterwards. Just can't make another play.
Pushed across for Jagerson. Alderson with the dig. Here's Hilly. Back row. Berg. Back up to the front row. They go to Jagerson again. Alderson getting to that ball. Here's Hilly. Got to swing back on it. Makes the play. Front row, Hilly again for the kill.
Hilly elevating her game here in set 3. Alderson, great ball out of system. Hilly, the ball's inside. And again, the vision from the Wayzata Trojan block, not what I'm used to seeing. They're blocking space instead of people.
Greshel with the hit and off of Krimble gets the point for Wayzata. 11-8. Back set to Krimble. Off the blocker and down for a point. And off the hands of Jagerson. Anna Krimble, a senior, getting the kill.
Krimble seeing she's got a one-on-one, knows she wants to end the point, doesn't like quite where that ball was set, so throws it off the hands. Good enough. +1 Champlin.
12-8, Gore serving. Back set, hit across by Miller. Here's Palish to the front row to Berg, blocked by Miller. Greshel back for Gross for the point.
Good swing there. Lefty again. Good enough for another big point for her Trojan team.
Hilly pushing it over. Back by Berg. Weimer digs that one up, went off. Something up in the ceiling and came down, and was tough for the Rebels to play. It was a live ball, but when it takes a carom that you're not expecting,
there, yeah.
Hit a speaker or something up above. So 12-10 the score. Hilly with the attack. Palish digging it up. Greshel in the middle, blocked by Miller, blocking Baufield's hit. Berg pushing it wide. Point Champlin Park. 13-10 Rebels. Claflin back in for Champlin Park as Hilly serves. Over by Bauffield. Wayzata. Trojans, much as in that first set, been trailing, or second set I should say, trailing most of the way here. Obviously keeping it close as you would expect the #1 seed too, but haven't had that big run yet of points. Here's Alderson. Handled by Bauffield. Berg. Aggressive attack and gets the kill.
Berg with a nice swing there, seeing the seam in the block and attacking it. We'll take another look. There's that big hole in the block. And again, Middleback has got to do a better job of reading that. This time it's Gore. She's going to step into the hole.
13-12. Hilly to Alderson. Over, nice, great by Gore. Alderson getting it back over again. Myers for Berg. Dug up by Weimer skirts, but out of play. And we're tying at 13. 3 in a row here for the Trojans.
Gore thinks she might have done something to her elbow there. We got a timeout coming. I think she laid out on that ball and put everything into her elbows. Came up with a little click going on. A little bit of tough volleyball here from the Trojans. Again, let's watch this last point here. Got to pass us out of system. Alderson going to send this ball over. Great defensive effort. There it is. That's where Gore lays out and kind of pops something. Alderson again off the block. We're going to get an out-of-system swing here by Berg. That ball is dug out of bounds. Berg doing some really nice things out of system this set. Like we said at the top of the show here, Wayzata is used to being in the section final. The program knows how to win. Scoreboards don't much matter to them until somebody tells them they won a match. They don't need to be up or down early. They need to get to 25-2, and that's the type of volleyball that they're playing right now. They had a little slow start. They're back tied up at 13. Scott Jackson telling his team, now we push, now we take that lead. We've got the momentum. John Junker talking to his team about staying relaxed and finding the big hits to get big points.
Hilly will set to Miller, had a run to that ball. Dug up by Greshel. Here's Berg. Got it over. Wayzata's in front.
Berg carving up the Rebel defense right now.
383 kills in the season coming into this match to lead Wayzata. 14-13, Bautfield serving into the net. And we're tied up at 14. Weimer skirts with the serve. Here's Berg. Dug up by Weimer skirts. Tipped over by Vatndal. Berg again. Off of Hilly. Weimer skirts to Alderson and got it over. Alderson packing off of Bautfield and down for a Champlin Park point.
That could be the momentum swing right there. Great finish. We see it here as Alderson kind of pops that ball deep to the six. Bautfield thought the play had already ended, and they go at her again here, up 15-14.
Berg across, ties it up. She's putting together some swings here, Andy.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely putting the team on her back at this point, knowing she's going to need to take a lot more swings to get her team to the Excel Center on Thursday.
Liz Benson serving. Hilly to Alderson and over. Greshel across. Berg one more time. Miller and Alderson with the block. Or excuse me, Claflin and Alderson.
It's a good-looking set, but there's four hands sitting in front of her there. She's got to see that and do something else with the ball. The wall was definitely built. I think she rolls that over the block to the deep one. She might have a chance, but doesn't give herself much opportunity there when she hits right into the meat of the block.
Ashburn to Alderson, yes, for the kill off of Bautfield.
Bautfield playing a 6 rotation middle, not really moving as well as we saw her earlier in the match. She's a little out of position again on that one in the 6, and Champlin up 2 here.
Ashburn, team leading by 2. Alderson easy on the overpass to put that away.
That'll get Scott off his seat and a timeout. That'll get the crowd on their feet. Alderson very excited about that play, getting the Champlin Rebels really rolling here. The switch we needed to have switched certainly has been. Champlin back running in charge. Wayzata's far from done. Wayzata in a great position right now. They're going to be receiving serve. I think they've still got Berg in the front row. Look for her to be getting the ball here. Good serve receive will take care of this ball. Champlin going to want to put some pressure on. I believe they've got Izzy Ashburn serving. She's been known to go on some runs. Alderson in the front row. We've got Hilly in the back row. She might get involved. Look for some great effort from Hilly if they're going to put this set away.
Out of the timeout with the Ashburn serve. Off of Berg, it's an ace. Ashburn leads the teams in aces this season. 44 in the season coming into the match today. 19-15 Rebels. Ball to Greshel. Important point for Wayzata. They need more of those, though. 19-16.
Greshel with a great swing there as Alderson's ball watching and not getting in front of the hitter. Berg will go back to serve here, down 3. She's going to need a run from the service line. Going to need some big swings from Jagerson.
Alderson from Ashburn, back row off Berg. She and Baufield talking about there who was going to play that ball. Berg ultimately did, but it went off of her and out.
Her and Baufield, that's their second or third communication error over there. They got to get that cleaned up.
Whistle, the Wayzata player in the net.
They had Benson under there as a good jump set, but I think she landed under. Timeout, Wayzata, 21-16 Champlin. They're up 5-4 away from taking a 2-1 lead here in the section final. Trip to St. Paul on Thursday on the line. Everything going Champlin's way. The good news for Wayzata, they're in control. The points that Champlin's scoring are off their errors. If Wayzata can just relax and play clean on their 900 square feet, I think they can come back and make a great match of this. Here we see the brackets. Wayzata, the #1 seed, coming in after 2 tournament wins during the regular season. Why don't you take us through the rest of it, John?
Osseo with the win over Plain in the quarterfinals. Got the Orioles to the semifinals. Maple Grove won their 9th straight match to knock out Delano, the 3 seed in the quarterfinals. But then the other night at Wayzata, Champlin Park sweeping Maple Grove, and Wayzata, after dropping the first set to Osseo, comes back and wins the next 3. And as expected, we get these 2 teams in the section final. Here's Sydney Hilly. 22-16.
I don't know where this Sydney Hilly was in set 1, but it's great to watch her playing right now. 22-16 Rebels.
In the middle at the end, a run to get to that ball. Jagerson just put it over. Here's Hilly again with the attack. Handled by Berg, back row. Jagerson, Alderson gets that. To the middle to Krimble. Back, and too strong on her hit.
Krimble's got to be ready for that ball. That's the second time in as many sets we've seen her kind of shocked that that ball was supposed to go to her. Middle blockers tend to not get set, so when they get the opportunity, they got to be ready to take advantage of it.
Ashburn over to Hilly. Puts it right back from Greshel. Hilly again. Point Champlin Park. Another kill for Sydney Hilly.
Bold move in dress pants as he does the dunk over another player to get him to 2 at the Champlin student section.
They've got a little ritual for every point when it gets close to the end of the set. Vidal giving a point back, 23-18. Trojans still with a lot of work here to do, though. Andy trailing by 5 this late in the set. Greshel serving, excuse me.
And in probably their worst rotation as they have Greshel and Berg. And, oh no, Baufield is in the front row, but she makes an uncharacteristic error there to give Champlin 24, to give them set point.
The extra point, 1 point, that's what the Rebels need here. Off of Palish, Greshel scrambling it to the front row to Berg. Ashburn, you know where this ball's going. Hilly blocked though by Baufield. Morgan Baufield with a huge block to keep Wayzata in the set.
There's the blocking effort we need from Wayzata. They knew the ball was going to Hilly. They had 4 hands sitting in front of it, and Baufield makes a secondary move there to step to her left and go close that or take that ball away. 6 hands on that one as Hilly goes. Here it's going to her again.
And puts it a little too strong. Past the end line, and it's 24-20.
Might call Hilly either coming in on a 2 or a 3 here. She's not going to hit on the outside again. Oh, here she goes, outside.
Alderson fortunate to get that ball over for the Rebels. Greshel to Berg with the attack and a point. 24-21. Timeout Champlin Park.
I was at the Blaine Champlin Park regular season finale, and let's watch this point first. So he had a tough serve there, just a whole lot of chaos. Alderson finally just wills the ball over. Berg digs it. She goes down line. Alderson out of position there, doesn't pick that ball up. Like I was saying, I was at the end of the regular season at Blaine. Champlin up 22-17. And Blaine goes on a 7-point run to go up 24-22. And no timeout from John Yunker during the entire set. They end up losing the set. Afterwards, John and I have a little discussion. He goes, I wanted to see if they could fight through it. I wanted to see. He said, we get to section final time. I'm not going to be that conservative with my timeouts, and we see it right there. Calls a timeout, rallies the troops. Most coaches would let him take one more, but John wants to end this right now.
Ashburn going to Hilly, pushing it over, and Wayzata able to return it, and then Hilly puts it away. Set 3 goes to Champlin Park.
Hilly sees the triple block here. Let's take another look. Good serve, handled pretty well there by Weimer-Skirch. Ball goes outside. Hilly tips over and around the triple block. Left-handed play by Palish. Greshel might have doubled that ball, but either way, it was a set to Hilly, and we know how that's going to end. She takes a good swing to finish the set. They're up 2-1 going into set 4 here in Anoka.
Stands are shaking, and we will take a break. 25-21, Rebels win. They're up 2-1. We're back with more at Anoka in a moment.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Champlin Park up on Wayzata. 2-1 as we head to the 4th set for Wayzata. Andy, what do they need to change here in set 4 to keep alive, their season alive?
They've got to, as with everything, they've got to take care of the first contact. They've got to be able to have more than one option. Berg's been doing some good things out of system, but they've got to have an answer when she's in the back row, whether it's Greshel, whether it's Baufield, or whether it's Jagerson. Somebody's got to take the big swings when she's in the back row, and they've got to do a better job of controlling Hilly's swings and not giving her second opportunities. When she's in the front row and they get an opportunity to take a swing, they've got to go big and end the rally early.
Yeah, when we were doing that match the other night before the match, you talked about the emotion of this type of tournament and getting to this point in the season and the last match for seniors for somebody. And you saw it just a moment ago, Reagan Palish, one of the senior co-captains, talking to her team, pleading with them, you know, this is it. We got to come up big here or go home.
Yeah, absolutely. There's like you said, there's a big tradition piece to Wayzata Trojan volleyball. I know when Jay and I did their first match on TV, it was against Lakeville North, 2 traditional powerhouses, and that tradition doesn't go away. They're going to need to fight here if they're going to force a 5th here.
Baufield's first touch in the 4th set goes into the net, and the first point goes to Champlin Park.
Ball set a little bit too far inside for Baufield to get to it, tips it into the net.
Greshel runs to this ball. Berg will get it over. Back set. Vidal off Berg. Greshel back to Berg. Dug up, over pass, and Baufield putting it away, and we're tied at 1.
Well, the one thing you'll never hear anybody say about Baufield is you'll never hear him say she's not emotional. She is jacked right now after that overpass kill. Wants her team, willing her team right now. We'll see what happens here. Benson back to serve.
Benson's serve is in. It's an ace. 2-1 Trojans.
Benson with a couple misses there earlier in the match, but comes through in the clutch right there to give her team an early 2-1 lead.
This one handled by Hilly. Ashburn back to Hilly over the net, and at the net, Trimble able to put it away.
Secondary effort. I'd make sure we don't have a wet spot there. I did notice that. I was going to say in the middle of a point early in the match, there's a little bit of slippage on this floor. Players not having the footing they're normally used to.
Greshel to Berg, and a kill for Wayzata.
The other option when Berg is in the back row is Berg can be the option, I guess, as she comes through there to give her team the 3-2 lead.
Here's the serve, and Jagerson will get an ace.
Couple aces early.
4-2 Trojans. To the middle, whistle. Another point for Wayzata. Double contact on the Rebels.
Ashburn doesn't get her feet to that ball and leads her to double contact it. She's got to recognize faster feet wins the game.
There's Krimble. Too strong. Biggest lead for Wayzata since set one. They're up 6-2.
This is the type of volleyball the Trojans are going to play if they're going to force a fifth. They're clean. They're putting pressure on the Rebels.
To the middle, Hilly. Uncharacteristically into the net. The Rebels certainly not on their game early in this fourth set in the timeout by Champlin Park.
I'll tell you what, right now, the most impressive player for me on the Wayzata Trojan team is Libero Palish. In between points, she's grabbing her kids. She's talking to them about what we got to do. She recognizes she was out of position there. As the timeout happens, she grabs Kate Berg and gives her the, hey, I got that ball. You go ahead. You keep triple blocking, Hilly. I will pick that up behind you. That's the encouragement that you need from a libero to let the rest of the players do their job and let her control first contact as often as possible. This is an impressive Wayzata team right now. Up 7-2 in the fourth, down 2-1 though. They're going to need to be impressive for quite a few more points in a row.
Lauren Jagerson, 7-2, and serving. And the middle, Hilly over. Palish digging that ball up. Greshel pushed across by Baufield. Back set to Krimble, blocked by Berg. They couldn't get it over, and that's a point for Champlin Park. Krimble out and Gore in. Seen some good serves from Brianna Gore today. See what she serves up here in set four. Kicked over at the net. Rebels recover. Palish digging up the Hilly ball. Ashburn will tip it over.
Great elevation from the freshman setter there. We've seen her dump one other time. This time she takes full advantage. Berg, vision-wise, you see her following the middle on the slide there. Ashburn, seeing that, dumps that ball down for a point.
Greshel across for Berg.
Big swing from the junior outside hitter. Nice job. We'll see another look here. She's got seam and takes advantage.
Kate Berg, 3-year varsity player, makes it 8-4. Wayzata. Hilly. It's a point back for Champlin Park.
See, that's a great swing there by Hilly. She doesn't have to unload. She doesn't even finish her swing here. That's a shot by her, and it still comes off with a lot of pace on it. Drops it in between, or to the left of Baufield, excuse me.
Made 5 off of Berg, ace for Hilly.
Another ace for Hilly there.
She's second to Ashburn on the team in aces.
We go at Berg again.
Berg this time dug up back row by Gore to Alderson in the front row for a point. And all of a sudden it's a 1-point game.
Exactly. Alderson does such a good job of elevating above the block and seeing what's open. Again, they don't need to hit it hard. We're just going to drop shot around people, not hit at people.
Greshel across for Berg, and there's a point for Wayzata. Going to get a little momentum back. They get the side out and make it 9-7.
Claflin frustrated with herself there. She knew that ball was going outside and didn't take her first step until significantly late.
Anna Kate Gross back in for Wayzata as Greshel serves. Good serve dug up. Hilly back to Miller. A little strong.
Wagner called those doubles early, but he's kind of swallowed the whistle here in the last couple sets. As a volleyball fan, I'm a fan of it.
Serve long from Greshel. 10-8 Trojans as Weimer Skirch goes back to serve. This will be an A's. Well, no, they'll still be able to play it. Field and Berg, there, that curtain up above. A break for the Trojans. Alderson, and this one will go for a point.
I love the never say die effort there from the Trojans. I thought that was going to be whistled dead, as it definitely caused a change of direction back into the play, but Wagner doesn't make a call, so they play on.
Cross to Berg, gets blocked. Alderson and Claflin getting up for the block.
That's as high as I've seen Berg jump, and Alderson and Claflin were just as high. That's a monster block to tie this at 10.
Uh-oh. Tipped over and kept alive by Kinney. Here's Alderson. Handled by Baufield. Greshel back to Baufield in the middle. Weimer Skirch to Alderson. And Champlin Park is in the lead.
Timeout from Scott Jackson and the Trojans. Here we see Alderson from the right side in the seam of the block, and Baufield on the end line again. When there's a hole in the block, I've never been a part of a defensive system where you're supposed to stay that deep. Attackers see the hole and want to drop it short, and we haven't seen nearly enough effort from the middle back defender to fill in that hole and get her arms under that ball and lip it up so somebody can do something with it. Scott Jackson not happy with the effort the last few points here. Stood up frustrated to call that timeout. He's going to get on his kids a little bit here. We'll see how they respond. John Junker feeling really, really well about the momentum his team is on. After being down 8-4, they've gone on an 8-2 run, or 7-2 run. My math is off. 7-2 run, excuse me. And they're up here 11-10 and up 2-1. One set away from a trip to the Excel.
We're going to get two teams in our Channel 12 viewing area that are in the state tournament. Hopkins in 3A, Heritage Christian Academy Friday night, qualifying for their first ever state tournament in Class A. Alderson gets the kill on the 12-10 Rebels.
Yeah, Heritage has got a couple nice kids there. They got the Fugelstead kid and they got the Lean kid. I think both high-level players.
Berg handled by Gore. Back set to Alderson. Greshel across for Berg. Alderson with the block. Boy, how good has Janae Alderson been here in the last set and a half, Andy?
I think she recognized there that if she's going to continue her season, she's having a lot of fun playing high school volleyball. If she's going to continue that, it's going to have to be her when she's in the front row.
A serve by Weimer Skirch, and it's 14-10. Timeout, Wayzata.
Two timeouts. Quick timeout there from Jackson after another three-point run here. Needs to calm down the troops. Wayzata's starting to feel a little bit of nerves, starting to feel this one slip away. Jackson's going to calm down his troops, get them race set and ready to go. How hot are the Rebels right now? Just on a roll, 10-2. Having a really nice time here, playing smooth, playing together. Janae Alderson doing a really good job from the right side. Backcourt doing their job. A whole lot of good team volleyball coming from the Rebels.
(14-10). Wayzata trailing by 4. Champlin Park on a 10-2 run here in the fourth set. Rebels breaking a 12-year drought of getting to the state tournament a year ago. They finished 5th in Class 3A. Trying to make it back-to-back here, needing 11 more points. Berg tapping it over. Hilly got to that ball.
Wow.
Patton Dalbadal gets to that, and then over by Gore. Back set. Anna Kate Gross. And she's come up with some big points. You mentioned that before.
I'm telling you, she's the unsung hero of this team right now as she again carves Alderson. I don't know where she was going. She's standing out of bounds ready to hit as that ball is attacked at her. She needs to step in and play a little D. 2-ball here to Alderson.
Gets this one off the blocker. Kinney in down. 15-11.
That's the rhythm we saw early on in the year. When Hilly and Alderson are in a rhythm, the block doesn't really matter. They had a little trouble on Wednesday, but are back in that rhythm now.
Ashburn with the serve. Greshel back set. Oh, this time Gross into the net. And a point for Champlin Park.
Gross with her, I think, first, maybe second error of the match. That's not a bad miss. She just mishit the ball. I'd go back to her.
Greshel in the middle, and this time it's Kinney hitting it into the net. Back-to-back hitting errors. And now it's 17-11.
Just miss-hitting balls. It's not like they got the ball and got blocked or hit it out. Just completely missed the ball. Jagerson there tooling Alderson.
(17-12). Kalish in to serve.
Go stand in front of Alderson. Oh, not with that pass.
Matt Nelvedal got it across.
Double contact there.
On Gross. 18-12. Alderson back to serve. Alderson putting it over. In the middle, Baufield. Like, let's go.
Big swing from Belfield there. We just saw a quick shot of Kinney on the bench being comforted by Ellen Anderson. Both seniors knowing they're sitting in a place where they can't help their team right now. Baufield's going to need to make some big points. They're going to need a run if we're going to get Kinney back in this game and allow the senior opportunities to extend her season.
Trimble pushing it just a little wide. And a point for Wayzata to make it 18-14.
Trimble having a great blocking match, but attacking, that's her second or third error. She's going to need to clean it up if she's going to be a part of this section championship.
Ball set outside to Hilly over the blockers. Back it goes. Baufield spins it over. Weimerskirch to Hilly. Handled by Palish. Greshel taps it across. Rebels waiting for it. Hilly hitting the attack. Ashburn, Weimerskirch setting up Hilly. Benson, Bird, outside Jagerson, handled by Weimerskirch.
Net violation on the Rebels. Good, clean rally. There's been some communication errors. I was really impressed with Greshel and Berg there as that ball was dug up by Benson, and Greshel told Berg to take it. That's a veteran move right there.
Ashburn to Hilly, and blocked by Baufield.
It is a different team with Baufield on the floor. You see the commit block there. She sees where Hilly's going. It's what we call in the game a give-take. So she shows she's going to take away the right side, and then at the last second drops her hands inside right where Hilly hits that ball. That's a beautiful block by the junior middle. Doing a nice job. Back within two are the Trojans. Far from done. John Junker calming the team down. It's not a question of who's going to get the ball here. It should go to Hilly. But if they want to throw a little shock at people, I could see them trying to go back to Krimble here. Maybe get Krimble to run a slide and see if we can get Baufield to chase. If Baufield doesn't go with Krimble, then you got to give her the ball and see if the senior can deliver. To be a senior, she's what, a 2 or 3 year starter. It's not like she doesn't know how to be in these matches. Maybe give the kid a shot here.
4 in a row for the Trojans. They trail 18-16. Back it goes to Vatndal Vidal. Cross. Alderson with a good dig on the attack from Baufield. Greshel. Cross to Jagerson. Down for a point. Vatndal Vidal and Krimble getting up. The Rebels stem the tide at 18-16, and it's now 19-16 Rebels.
The move was to have Greshel set that ball, not Benson, which I'm okay with because Greshel's got better hands, but it did leave them in a two-hitter situation, allowing the commit block, which is what we saw there.
Outside, Baufield gets it off of Hilly.
Baufield not done. She gets yet another kill. This is the rotation. We're going to need a run here from Benson as it's 17-19. They're down, but Wayzata's got their three best hitters in the front row.
And that one mishit in the front row by Miller. 19-18. Jagerson back to serve again.
I like the set here to Miller. It's got to be a little higher. The commit was already there as Greshel was standing in front of Hilly. Find Hilly here, get six hands in front of her and see what happens.
Ashburn, back to Miller again, this time able to drop it over. Jagerson from the back row to the middle and over again by Miller. Outside it goes to Berg. We are tied at 19. A 7-1 run for Wayzata.
Berg to answer there. There's too much Wayzata right now. Greshel isn't even hitting. They're running a two-hitter system right now, but it's too hard to commit to any one of these kids.
Hilly gets an important hit and kill and a point back for her team.
Metro Player of the Year shows up to get her team the lead 20-19. That's a carved ball as Benson not ready to play defense, and Jagerson still sitting in the sixth. Great spot by the junior outside hitter / setter.
Gore serving, the team up by 1. Greshel across for Berg. Tied at 20.
After being consoled back into the game is Kinney. Let's see what the senior middle has.
Outfield serves. Back it goes. Miller across. Baufield digs that ball up. Go to Berg. Point Wayzata. The back part of the court in for a point.
We saw Miller there with no block on a great set from freshman Izzy Ashburn. Berg thought that ball was going outside, so she was already at the 10-foot line ready to dig. That ball's got to be converted by Miller.
Ashburn over by Hilly. Cross to Berg. Hilly over, dug up by Baufield. Greshel will put it over. Comes to Hilly again. 21 all.
Hilly with yet another equalizer there. Great diss from Ashburn. And that's a great spot. There's all there is to that. We've been talking about where defenders are supposed to stand. You don't stand a chance when she elevates that well.
Greshel's got a run to get to this ball. Berg ties it up. No, excuse me, Wayzata back in front, 22-21 with that kill.
Berg with a big swing there. She goes toe-to-toe with Hilly there and takes the big one. 22-21, Greshel serving under pressure.
Hilly for Alderson. Greshel, quick set, and Kinney tips the net there, and point for Champlin Park. It's 22 all.
Big dig by Baufield there to get that ball up to Greshel. Greshel, I like the decision. We've got to get a finish from Kinney, though.
Outside to Berg, off the block, and out. Point Wayzata, 23-22.
Berg now in the back row. This is the rotation. They need to run here with Berg serving, because in serve receive, they're two now big attackers are in the back row. 23-22, Wayzata up.
To the middle to Alderson. Point Champlin Park, we're tied at 23.
That's got to be a tougher serve from Berg there. That's an easy three-point pass. With Hilly selling Alderson, you knew the result before it was even delivered.
Ashburn's done well serving this year, Andy. Let's see what happens here. Oh, too strong, and it's set point for Wayzata.
The freshman might have had a little bit of pressure on her there, and she misses to give set point to Wayzata.
At the net, we are going to go to 5. 25-23 Wayzata.
That's a great serve. They go right at, I think, they serve right at Hilly here. Hilly overpasses Kinney, who's been a little non-existent there, Ballfield was in the back row. Ballfield taking advantage of the overpass there to go 25-23. Let's play 5. Why not, John?
We'll take a break, come back. We'll finish this match in a moment. 5th set coming. The winner goes to state. Wayzata Champlin Park continues after this.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Full house at Anoka High School today. We are seeing a great match for the Section 5 championship. Champlin Park and Wayzata tied up at 2. Andy, momentum is a fickle thing sometimes. It looks like Champlin Park was going to win this one in 4 when they go up 18-12. Wayzata gathers themselves. They come back. Now they've got the momentum going into set 5.
It's a monster. It's great volleyball. I got a couple buddies here. We call ourselves the Three Stooges. Reed Vernon and Josh Madison both blew up my phone as the set ended with "worth the price of admission." I couldn't have said it better myself. We had a rousing speech from the head of the Champlin student section. Without giving it away, I'll tell you, if you've ever seen the movie They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper, there was some quoting going on. It's all or nothing. 1 set to 15. And surprise, surprise, Ballfield unloads for the early lead.
Morgan Ballfield putting her team up 1-0. Liz Benson to serve. Tapped over by Ballfield. And all of these points are important in any set, but especially this 5th set when you're only going up to 15.
Quick game to 15. Ballfield playing at another level right now.
Benson gives 1 point back, though, on that missed serve.
Smiles all around. Everybody's relaxed and fine. Benson knows it. Greshel back to running a 5-1. They got 2 swings right now. Benson and Ballfield, or Jagerson and Ballfield.
Kill for Jagerson with 3-1 Wayzata. She'll serve here. Yeah, another service there. So 2 Champlin Park points here in the set have come courtesy Wayzata. You can't have too much of that.
Yeah, no, again, we talked about game to 15. Every little point matters. You definitely can't give away the first 2 points that Champlin has. Gore to serve.
Kalish up to the front row. Greshel to Berg. Off the net and wide. Point Champlin Park.
Greshel catches tape for the first time in 3 sets. Definitely didn't have the explosiveness. Maybe she's running out a little bit. 5-setter with her being as big a part as she is. We'll see what happens here.
Greshel go back to Berg again and blocks.
I love the move by Kalish here to cut off Holly Myers on serve receive. You let the setter take that ball. Pailish then goes into cover, but she digs that ball outside the antenna and hits the net. Line judge quick on the call.
Rebels in front, 4-3. Gore serving again. Greshel back set this time. Baufield ties it up.
Baufield responsible for 3 points across the front row. They're tied up 4-4. Here we see the slide again. Hilly again set herself up so she could dive back in to take the cross court, but not enough.
Slide across, and Miller the kill.
Role player coming up big there is Allie Miller, the junior middle blocker on the slide with no block here. Berg, I don't know what Berg was watching there. I don't know if the commitment was they were going to go 6 hands on Hilly there, but that's 2 unanswered.
Hilly serving. Alderson at the net, got it over. 2-point lead now for Champlin Park for the first time this set. It's 6-4.
Alderson on a joust. Typically the setter will win that because she jumps later, but if Alderson, like she did there, beats Greshel to the ball, she's able to win that point.
Alderson again wins the battle at the net against Greshel.
If you're watching, it was not a replay. That was the exact same play. Again, an overpass. Greshel goes up early. Alderson off her right hand and down.
7-4. Hilly serving for the Rebels. Greshel cross to Berg, got it over. Hilly, Weimer-Skirch to Alderson, handled by Jagerson. Berg on the outside, blocked and down for a point.
Timeout Wayzata here. It's a decent set. It's a little inside. Berg tries to tool the block, but great secondary hand movement by the Champlin block. They're up 8-4 here in a quick set to 15. Timeout, Scott Jackson and the Trojans. Now I see him, he's talking to Berg about how to finish a swing high. That ball's inside, she does have to reach a little higher. If it's closer to the antenna, you lower the elbow and tool it off the blocking elbow. Not in a position to do that there. They're gonna need to do a better job. That was 2 overpasses, and even that last one wasn't a great pass. If they're gonna come back here and put a run together, they're gonna need better first touch so Greshel can run an offense and not just dish the ball to Berg.
We talked about in our pregame the secondary players for Champlin Park needing to come through if they're going to win today. Who is it on the block there? Miller and Claflin coming up and getting the big point for their team. 8-4, Rebels 7 points away from state. We've got 8 of the last 10 points here in the set, but we've seen Wayzata come back today before. Go to Berg again, there's 1 point, 8-5.
Berg unloading on that ball, getting that exchange we talked about early. Nice swing from her. Greshel will be back to serve here, down by 3, needing a run.
Greshel serving, her team trailing by 3. Great serve. Weimer-Skirch digging it up. Alderson off the set from Hilly. Greshel back to the middle of the court, over by Berg. Floats it to the back row. Hilly will go back to Alderson again. Dug up by Baufield this time. Greshel for Berg. This time goes over with the tap. Hilly to the floor to dig that ball. And again to Alderson. Point Champlin Park. Good rally. Rebels get the point.
It's a big swing by Alderson there, carving that ball down the line. Jagerson not playing a whole lot of back row this set, does there.
Greshel in the middle, and a little confusion in who is going to play that ball. Wayzata really scrambling here. Greshel does get it over. Hilly will go to Alderson. And there's point 10 for Champlin Park.
Great swing here. Berg, again, losing her attacker. Her eyes have got to get better. She's offensively amazing right now. But if she's going to help her team get back from this 5-point deficit, she's going to have better eyes to see what's in front of her. Timeout again, Wayzata. They need to go 2-1 here to finish this one if we're going to see them win and go to state. It's 10-5. John Junker and Champlin definitely not in coast mode. They've seen a comeback before, even in this match.
Yeah, you start playing the head. If you start playing the points in your head, that's usually when you lose focus. Like, well, they would have to outscore us 10-3 here for us to lose this one. You can't think like that when you're Champlin Park. You got to play now a point at a time against a quality opponent like this.
Yeah, it's gonna be great to see what happens here. If Champlin, if Wayzata gets out of this rotation quick, I think. I may be off. I thought Ballfield was about to go in the front row here, but they may be 2 away. And if that's the case, it may be too little too late here. We'll see what happens.
Weimerskirt serving is one. They're going to have to scramble this ball and can't get to it.
Another great secondary effort there by Ballfield, but Jagerson, I believe it was Jagerson, not able to get her hips around the ball. 4 points from State are the Rebels, back-to-back appearances. They go at her again. Berg on a 2.
Block. Point for Champlin Park, and it's 12-5. Was that blocked, or did she just hit the table? No, it was definitely blocked.
It's blocked, and Gross not in a position to cover there.
Special back, tipped over by Baufield. Hilly across. Vidal got it over. Scramble for Wayzata, and they do just get it across. Hilly to Alderson, blocked. Hilly will dig up another ball, and back to Alderson, and this time a point for Wayzata. Well, it didn't look like early on in that rally they were going to be able to come away with the point, but they do.
We'll see the end here. Great block by, was that Kinney? Yeah, Kinney and Berg. Berg back to serve now. 12-6, her team needs a run.
Hilly to the middle to Alderson, dug up by Berg. Greshel across for Jagerson, slicing it over for a point.
I'm reminded of the section semifinal last year with Osseo and Totino. I believe they were down, Totino was down about this and came back and won to make it to the final against Champlin Park. So anything's possible.
Hilly back to Alderson, mistimed it, and Champlin Park giving a point away. That's 12-8. Timeout Rebels. 3 in a row for Wayzata when they needed it.
We will not give away points, John Yunker is thinking right now. Here's a great serve. Alderson does an okay job with it. Little bit of miscommunication. I think Alderson thought they were still in enough rhythm she could run quick. Hilly audibled to a higher ball, so Alderson was in the air, and it was already too high before she got there. Timeout here. John Yunker and his team, 3 points away from the state tournament. Wayzata needs a run. Scott Jackson knows that we can only get 1 point at a time. His team always, and I've talked about it over and over and over again, strong from the service line, serving with a purpose. They have a plan, and the plan gets executed. They're disciplined. They take care of the little things. Champlin, when they do those same things, they out-athlete every team in this section. We'll see what happens here. Berg to serve.
Trojans still trying to climb out of a hole, trailing by 4 in a set that only goes to 15. Hilly to Alderson. No miscommunication that time, but Berg there to dig it up. Berg sits it across. Hilly to Alderson one more time. Too strong. 12-9.
I'm reminded of a state championship a few years ago between Eden Prairie and Lakeville North, where the two big guns went back and forth. Even though Berg's in the back row, I could see her getting just about every ball here. Ooh, we go out of system.
Vidal dug up. Wayzata getting it across. Alderson, the Vidal again, got it over. Greshel back.
Oh, how good was Gross? Oh no!
Missed. Gross unable to put it in play.
That's a great swing from the right side here, but yes, it does miss just a little wide. 13-9, Champlin 2 points away.
Ashburn serving. Greshel had to scramble to get to that ball, pushed across by Berg. Back to Alderson over the blockers. Greshel goes, digs that ball up. Berg tapping it over in the middle. Back set to Alderson, dug up by Berg. Over by Jagerson. Back outside, Vidal, tipped over by Wayzata. Ashburn back to Alderson. Jagerson blocked by Krimble. What a great rally here. Vidal over the blockers, dug up by Greshel. Over by Gross, Ashburn, Alderson keeps it alive. Over by Hilly, Berg to the floor. Jagerson, Weimerskirch with the dig. Over by Hilly again, another dig by Bowfield. Wayzata scrambling and they keep it alive. Alderson able to get it over and they get the point. Oh my goodness, what a point that was.
Great big rally, about 5 swings from Alderson, 4 layouts from Libero, Weimerskirch, set point, section championship point.
At the net, over. Back it goes. Alderson has put Champlin Park in the state tournament for the 2nd straight year.
Great rally, great fight. The seniors, the big guns and the role players, the seniors from Champlin Park taking full advantage there, willing their team to state. Good golly, that's a great match. Hats off to the Wayzata Trojans, giving it everything they had. Let's watch that last point. It was a beauty. Little bit of miscommunication. Jagerson there. Greshel doing everything she can to keep it alive. Free ball to Hilly. She takes it. Ball backs at Alderson, wanting to end it and get her team to the state tournament again, and she does. Great effort there. Congratulations to the Rebels as they go again. That's the piece I hate watching. The emotion on the seniors, having their career ended. You can't, if you ever played any sport, your heart wrenches for these kids knowing 12 kids ending their career in Trojan blue and white. Beautiful season. Hats off to them and congratulations to the Rebels.
Champlin Park on to the state tournament. Andy, before we go to break, I guess it'll depend on how these other sections finals go. Where do you see the Rebels potentially being seated?
If everything goes the way I've drawn it out, because I'm the volley nerd that's done the bracket about 4 times, I see Champlin as a 4 or a 5. If they end up at 3, they could draw Hopkins, which to me would be very exciting for the Channel 12 crowd. Either way, they're in a great position here to go on another good run. Going to be a great state tournament. We'll see you guys around Thursday. Yeah?
We'll take a break. Yes, we will hear from a couple of the Rebels in a moment. They are going on to state, defeating Wayzata in 5. We'll wrap it up at Anoka High School after this timeout.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
It's so shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Champlin Park is headed to the state volleyball tournament. They win an exciting Section 5 3A championship today over Wayzata 3-2 and go on to state in St. Paul. Welcome back to Anoka High School. John Jacobson with head coach John Yunker and with Janae Alderson and Sydney Hilly. And Sydney, first of all, congratulations. You get to state for a 2nd year in a row. What does that mean in itself?
Oh, thank you. It's incredible. We knew that we were going to work hard to get here, and I'm so glad we got back. It's an amazing feeling.
You played this Wayzata team twice before, both times before in tournaments. What was different for you today in this 5-setter?
We knew it was going to be really competitive because Wayzata is a great team, and so we knew we were going to have to fight, and that's exactly what we did. It was a close match, but we got it in the end.
That 4th set, you're up 18-12, and it looks like maybe you're going to go on and win in 4. They come back and win. What was the talk between the 4th and 5th sets?
We called it before. We knew it was going 5, so we were like clean slate, 0-0. Let's get to 15 first.
How about this Wayzata team? How good are they compared to some of the teams you played this year?
They're incredible. They have so many great players. They have Kate Berg, who's amazing, Morgan Bowfield, Mackenzie Greshel. They're all incredible.
This was a season goal before the season started to get back to state, and now you've accomplished this. How do you reset now and get ready for St. Paul?
We have big goals ahead of us still. We have so much more we want to accomplish. We're going to get back to practice, and we're ready to go.
Congratulations on the win here today.
Thank you.
Janae, congratulations. And you, I thought, really elevated your game later in that match. How did you feel about your play overall today?
I feel like I played pretty well, but as with the team behind me and just like setting balls and passing, you know, I couldn't have done without them. So they really helped me become a better player.
Emotion can sometimes work for you and against you as a team. How do you kind of settle it in when the other team's going on a run like Wayzata did, winning that fourth set and getting up very early in the fifth set?
Definitely emotions are a big part of the game. We had a lot of emotions, but one of the players, Marissa, every time she looked at me, said, all right, calm down. We still have a game to win, but we did have some really good plays we cheered for, but then we looked ahead to the other points we had to win.
As a team, how did you feel your team's playing right now as heading into the state tournament?
We're really cohesive. We're really just trusting in each other, knowing that everybody's doing their job right and everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and I just feel like we're on a really good page right now.
The state tournament experience you had last year, you finished fifth, but you got to play on that court. Does that help going back this year, do you think?
It definitely helps. It kind of gives us an idea what we're supposed to be handling, the fans and all the lights, just all the people. I feel like now last time was just getting to state, but now it's kind of going further into state because now we know what to expect.
Finally, as a senior, how fun is this for you to go back to state?
Definitely one of my bucket lists. I'm glad it came true. So it's a pretty big moment. I just hope we can go deep into it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach Junker, and what a terrific match by your girls. How much fun is it to be involved in a match like this against a quality opponent like Wayzata?
It's a lot of fun. It's nerve-wracking, of course, but we came in expecting it to go 5. Wayzata's a great team, great players. They're always great. Scott's a great coach. He always has his teams prepared at the end of the season. They played in 3 section finals as well. This was their 3rd. So we just kept battling and knew in our hearts we could do it, and very, very proud of the girls to just keep battling through all 5 sets.
What did you do well today, or maybe better today than you did the other 2 times you played them this season?
I think we just made a few more plays. We stayed a little cleaner with some things we did, but also we had to dig a few more balls and block a few more balls and just stick with it. We knew it was probably going to go to 5, so if something didn't go our way, we got to move on to the next one and see what happens.
You don't know how the rest of the sections are going to finish up yet, but what's your guess on where you might be seated for the state tournament?
Probably 4 or 5 if things fall out the way they are. There's still a lot of pretty highly ranked teams as far as the coaches poll and stuff. But you never know. It could be maybe 3. But it's we'll find out tomorrow morning and see what happens. If there's a couple upsets this afternoon, maybe it's a little higher. But you still got to play everybody, and I think we're a little more prepared for this season.
Your timeouts, when you take them, then the 5th set when you're up, and all of a sudden they start to making a little run. What do you tell the girls to try to close it out? Which you did.
One of our assistant coaches kept telling them it's games to 5. So we won the first game to 5, and then we won the second one, and we got to win the third one. Just remind them, just keep doing what we've been doing. Stick to the game plan. Don't let the situation get away from you, because it is an emotional thing out there and a momentum swing. And do what we've done that works to get us to this point, and let's earn those last couple points. 27 wins on the season. What does it take to get to 30? A lot of the same stuff. Staying clean, and the girls just staying together, and I don't think that's going to be an issue. And being down there again for the second time, we kind of understand it. So, it's a wide open season this year as far as the state tournament's concerned, and we're going to see what happens.
Enjoy today. Good luck this week.
Thank you very much.
Champlin Park volleyball team headed back to the state tournament for the 3rd time in school history, 2nd straight year. They win it in 5 today over Wayzata to head to the state tournament. Great finish for volleyball here in the section. We'll be at the state later this week for coverage of the 3A tournament. That'll do it for today's match on Channel 12. For Andy Guggesberg and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in. Champlin Park over Wayzata in 5.